morning, class. Today I am going to teach you the difference between theft and fraud. Theft is when someone has taken something from you and you are very sad because you know they have taken something from you. Fraud is when someone has secretly taken something from you and you're happy because you don't know that they've taken it from you, so it is a secret theft.
You know, I'm being beaten up at this game because everybody's got a different game and I don't know the rules. So there's no way I can win. And that's the problem with the investment industry. We don't know what the rules are.
Found that this guy did similar things with 7 of his clients. Okay. So the IDA says the guy is guilty, right, but we can't help him. And TD Waterhouse says, we don't care what the IDA says, we're not paying you back.
Instead of practice the trade in the investment industry, they had learned really well how to practice the tricks of the trade.
Being exposed to a sales game where you're being sold a product for a motive which might not be in your best interest as a consumer.
Because basically I feel the public is being deceived by the industry and the regulators are complicit with that, knowingly or unknowingly.
The financial health of Canadians is equal to the financial health, your physical health.
Yes.
I don't think there is a Canadian who would support the pharmaceutical industry being responsible for the approval of its own drugs.
That's what we have in the investment industry.
And that's what we have in the investment industry.
And somebody ends up taking their own life and they're driven to it, that's bullying. I've used the term collective homicide on this, and that's what it is.
It certainly is a misrepresentation that they have criteria, because if there's no deployment of the criteria or written record, then there are no criteria as far as I'm concerned.
If the public knew what was going on in the securities industry, there would be no securities industry.
I came from farming country, where the family farm used to be a lifestyle for those lucky enough to live it. No longer. Today farming is not about open skies and clean air. It's about tractors that steer themselves using GPS and computers and genetically modified seeds. The same revolutionary change has taken place in Canada's financial services industry. In the early days of financial services, owners had their names on the door. They were answerable to the public they served based on their reputation and their standing in the community. It was a gentleman's club run by gentlemen. We're now in a world that's changing faster and faster, becoming more competitive every day, such that it's hard to keep up with the change. We are also seeing a shift from people to corporations as having the largest influence on our lives and our economies. Where we once had small businesses, mom and pop stores, we now have corporations. Where once men of finance owned the firm and kept their name on the door, we now have hired managers with pay packages tied to short-term performance, and then they're gone. In today's system, those gentlemen are also long gone. The firms have been bought up by one of the 5 banks in Canada, and 90% of the financial services in Canada are provided by one of these banks. An oligopoly bordering on monopoly exists with regard to the extent of power and control they exert over the marketplace. Ownership has been replaced by hired managers, temporary CEOs who turn over every 5 years or so. And each one is trying to take home $20 to $50 million upon his departure. Instead of a lifetime career and a financial firm built as well as a reputation, it has become a game of how much can I make and how fast can I take it from the company. The problem with corporations running or owning or controlling everything is that although the corporation is recognized to have all the legal rights of an individual, they have no soul, they have no conscience, no morals, nor ethics. People can own and control them, hiding behind them, hurting other people, hurting the planet. It can cause people to die if a corporation is bad enough, and the owners and managers can become richer and richer while hiding behind the veil. The veil that says, "I did not do it, my corporation did." Lies become the order of the day. Deceit becomes the currency. Decline in society becomes inevitable. A Provincial Securities Commission official told me, "Larry, if you go up against a Canadian bank, they will leave you emotionally and financially bankrupt." I laughed. They also said they will beat you without leaving any marks. I'm no longer laughing. In Canada, if you tell the truth on corporate wrongs or criminal behavior, you are far more likely to earn a place in jail, an institution, or to take your own life than the person in the corporation who committed those acts of wrongdoing. I was born to the farm, out west, where people do things quite differently. I guess that is why I do things differently.